Welcome, Zags. Today, you are going to be engaging in a lively discussion about our Zags Help Zags program with your orientation leaders. When you took our online course, Zag into Action, you learned about the Zags Help Zags program and how it is about empowering the Gonzaga community to promote well-being and to take action in preventing harm. We use the term bystander a lot, which means any person who observes something and has a choice to do something. The following video contains a group of faculty and staff who are going to share about the Zags Help Zags perspective from how they see it and the different ways that they can use the care strategies. I hope you learned something from this session and that you have a wonderful discussion.
Hi, my name is Maggie and I'm a graduate residence director here at Gonzaga University. I work on the southeast block of campus, which is CM, Madonna, and Tui. I primarily work with first and second year students in housing and residence life, and you can find me walking around campus or in my office, which is located in the lobby of Madonna Hall.
Hey, my name is Torun, and I'm a professor of Italian and the chair of international studies at Gonzaga University. I also live and serve as a faculty in residence in Cowlin Hall, and I feel truly blessed to be around students both in my work and in my home community.
Hi, my name is Joey Samuth, and I work in the Center for Student Involvement at Gonzaga University. What the Center for Student Involvement does is provide you opportunities to get involved outside the classroom, try new things, and see what really fits in your life. So we work with all clubs and student organizations, Gonzaga Student Body Association, which is the undergraduate student government. We also run Spike Nights, the late night weekend programming series you'll see virtually and over campus this year. And we work with the Kennel Club, which is the rowdiest student section in the nation.
Hi, Zags. My name is Dr. Catherine Zeisner. I'm an assistant professor at the School of Education, and specifically I work in DELA, the Department of Educational Leadership and Administration. But more importantly, I'm one of, I think, about 5 really lucky faculty members who have an additional role entitled Faculty in Residence.
Hey, Zags. My name is Dr. Kevin Meeser. I am a faculty member in the biology department. I also teach at the UW School of Medicine for half the year. Most students usually interact with me either by taking one of my courses in the biology department, or I'm also one of the pre-health advisors here on campus.
Hi, my name is Carly Halverson. I'm a residence director here at Gonzaga University with the Housing and Residence Life Department. I work on the southeast block of campus, so CM, Madonna, and Tui, and I primarily interact with students in a residential capacity, so working through all types of issues or fun things that come around in residence life. You can find me in my office in CM or walking around campus or in the Crosby Center.
Everyone succeeds in that community because of the work of everyone else. So we work together to help others. And sometimes that help comes in very obvious ways that you might see before of supporting, caring, some of the care strategies that we'll talk about. And sometimes it looks like we hold each other accountable and we call out actions that go against our mission or against our personal values, and that we work together to build everybody up. So that's what Zags Help Zags mean to me.
The term Zags Help Zags to me means that we're a community that looks out for one another and helps each other when we have any sort of concerns. We celebrate our victories and we spend a lot of time helping each other grow and get better through our community.
It means that you are empowered to help others, not because of your training, not because of some special skill that you have, but because you are a Zag and you are someone who cares about your fellow Zags. And so that in itself empowers you to be able to help someone when you see that they're in trouble.
To me, Zags Help Zags means that we are a community that is committed to our own well-being and putting the well-being of others first, and that we care about our neighbor.
To me, Zags Help Zags embodies our identity and our common goals as a Jesuit community. The idea of intentionally and actively caring for and with each other shows, in my view, how cura personalis, the care for the whole person, goes hand in hand with cura apostolica, the care for our common work and our community.
And what it means to me is the fact that we all must look after each other. When you see something, you do something. And while being an active bystander can be scary, you learned in your course the CARE method, C-A-R-E. Obviously, that stands for create a distraction, ask directly, refer to an expert, and enlist the help of others.
The first care strategy is create a distraction. And the way that I'd like to create a distraction sometimes is to maybe move the topic elsewhere, ask about different things, bring up maybe a different conversation topic that might be maybe funny or lighthearted, move it elsewhere. But could also be a distraction of going to a different event on campus, trying something else new, taking someone's mind off of something, could be really helpful in certain situations.
The next one is A, so ask directly. And so I've actually, when I was in undergrad, had to do this several times, some of it in my role as a resident assistant. But I knew of people who I thought they might be at a point where they would take their own lives or do themselves harm. And in one particular instance, I was in a friend's room. They had really changed their mood over the last couple of days. They were really withdrawn. They were not doing well in their classes. They weren't showing up to their classes, which is not something that I would think typically of them. And so luckily, I had learned through my orientation, similar to Zags Help Zags, and also through some training as an RA, that I need to just ask them directly. I didn't beat around the bush. I asked them directly if they were looking to harm themselves. And this is something that falsely students think that I shouldn't ask that because maybe that will put that thought into their head. And we just know that that isn't true.
R, refer to an expert. If I feel my friend will need help I cannot provide, I would seek to discreetly share information about resource centers, such as health and counseling services, or the Center for Cura Personalis. I would also consider submitting an anonymous refer form online at gonzaga.edu/refer.
Now for E, enlist others to help. I can remember several examples from my undergrad when this happened, knowing friends who had just gotten a little too deep with alcohol on a particular night. They were showing signs of alcohol poisoning. Many friends wanted to just let them sleep it off, that they'd be okay. And I was just a little too worried to let that happen. And so I always looked for the nearest, whether it was, we had health advocates at the time, or usually a resident assistant. And knowing that we will deal with the consequences of the student violating the alcohol policy at another time. Right now, I need to make sure that they get help. And so making sure that I enlist somebody else to help. And if there wasn't a resident assistant around, making sure that I got someone else, a friend or something, to help me and I wasn't just there alone. So that way, either one of us could go get somebody else while we're supporting that student. So
when I'm out in the community and maybe I see someone who is maybe at a restaurant or a place where they're being potentially harassed by someone who you can see that's making them uncomfortable, I often will pretend to be a friend, and I'll walk over and I'll just sort of go, "Hey, how are you? I'm so happy to see you." And I make direct eye contact with the person so that they know that I know what's going on, and hopefully that they will play along and say, "Oh, I'm so happy to see you." And when we've made that connection, I'll say, "Hey, do you want to walk home together? It's time to go." So that sort of distraction to get them away from the person who's potentially harassing them. And then on that walk home, or if we get outside and we're just the two of us together, I'm able to say, "Who can you turn to for some more support?" I would certainly direct them to other places on campus where they could talk to someone if they feel they need some more advocacy skills. And then walk them back and hopefully get them to their roommates or get them to a place where they feel safe. I want to thank you in advance for participation through this discussion. You are in great hands with your orientation leaders. I'm so honored with all of the people here at Gonzaga, that 360 support that you're receiving. Please don't be afraid to ask for help. I hope that you've had a really lively discussion and that your main takeaway is that we hope that after this conversation, you're not afraid to ask for help for yourself or for others. Be that active bystander. Zags helping Zags is much more than a phrase here at Gonzaga. It's part of our community, and it's really part of our mission statement to build those competent global leaders. You're already a leader because you're here. Go Zags, go.
Go Zags.
Go Zags.
Go Zags.
go Zags.
Go Zags.